Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Little Psychic podcast. I am your host, June Mack. I am a psychic and mediumship teacher and a coach for the spiritual entrepreneur. This episode is another download coming straight at you from Spirit and what it is that they would like me to talk about this week, and what it is that my clients have been going through. A lot of my clients go through on a regular basis, and that I wanted to share with you to let you know that this is so normal. So many people who, maybe aren't within this space so deeply just yet, or maybe you're going through this and you just need the validation that what is happening is normal. So what's been happening is that you know, and this doesn't only relate to if you are someone who's in business, but I'll use that as an example because that's generally who I'm dealing with, which is light leaders or light workers in business. And, they get on this role of feeling, and this is me included, right? Of feeling very, very motivated, of I am going to, I'm feeling confident. I feel like I've hit the next level. I've upgraded. I'm going to do all of the things. I'm going to create this website. I'm going to start my Instagram account. I am going to get professional photos taken. I'm going to do all the practices and start writing up my services. And they're like, go, 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 go. And they're on this up level, up level, up level, up level. And then they're getting quicker in between. And this is something else that Spirit has said, like once you get this connection with them, and you understand how it is to work with them, you get on this role where you close the gap between the intuitive information that has come through of what your next step should be and actually doing the next step. So you start to close the gap between information or intuitive insight or intuitive download and action taking. And this is where, if you're earlier on in your journey, something that takes practice and it takes time to build the trust, but you do start to get faster. You get faster at it because you trust and okay, Spirit has got my back and they've given me this information before, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go. So for an example of that with me at the moment is literally when I was writing up the landing page for Psychic School Elite. My Spirit team was saying, oh yeah, and you're going to add in these energetic activations in there, which is, so you're not only teaching your clients, you're also going to channel an energetic activation, which is like a meditation, right? That is, they listen to it. And I believe that Spirit is working through me to send energy to whoever is listening to these particular activations and helping their body or energy field upgrade in a way that they are ready to then hit their next level to be able to succeed in what it is that they want to do. And most of the people in Psychic School Elite, they're there because they want to do some form of, well, actually everyone in there. Maybe, some are not quite so sure, but pretty much I'd say 98% of the people in Psychic School Elite know that they would like to enter some type of light work. And we're all individual, and however it is that they decide to do that is up to them. But so it's not just about teaching them, because or them practicing. It's also about mindset, and we have other people in there that help to assist with this. We're also bringing purpose, which we've spoken about in previous episodes, and there's like, okay, so you're going to do these energetic activations to help them energetically be able to hold the next level of their success or where it is that they want to get to. And I remember thinking, like, when this information's come through, I don't know how to do that. I've never done that before. How am I supposed to do that? But because I trust Spirit, I just added it to the landing page. And then don't you know it, when it comes down to recording these activations, I literally sat down, and my favorite way to connect with Spirit is automatic writing. If you don't know what that is, you can, go down a rabbit hole, and basically it's where you channel information from Spirit and you write it out, and they sort of take over. There is an automatic writing masterclass that I recorded quite recently inside the Little Psychic School, if you are interested, along with lots of other things in there. And I literally sit down to automatic write, and they're like, okay, this is how you're going to talk them through the meditation, and literally write out the entire thing. And I then read it out, and as I'm reading it out, not word for word, but I just sort of look at it as in notes, but there's also more information coming through as I'm writing it out. So I'm still also channeling info, and sometimes I change up little bits or add in certain things depending on what spirit want. And then I've got the entire, energetic activation that is going to assist them in where it is that they're at in their journey to help them, and because that is where I'm at in terms of my journey at the moment, is like you start to quicken between the time between these downloads and between doing the actual things. And I'm just wanted to share that when you have these intuitive downloads, you are going to feel stretched. You are going to feel like, I can't do that. Who am I to think that I can do that? That's not me. I'm not ready for that. But the thing is, you're probably never going to feel completely ready. And I'm not just talking from clients' experiences, I'm talking from my own experiences. You probably aren't going to feel ready. I mean, sometimes you do, but if you're waiting until you feel like you're 100% ready, you're never going to do anything. So many people are like, oh, okay, I just need to do one more program or one more class, and then I'm going to feel like I'm qualified to be able to, like, do this thing. And it doesn't mean like don't do the classes, because sometimes you do need that. You do need to up level in terms of knowledge. It's more just like if you're using that as an excuse, if your spirit team or your intuition is telling you, no, you are ready, you know enough. If everybody else is saying, oh my gosh, Karen, you are the, best coach. You are inspiring me every day. You've helped me so much in so many things. You are ready to release your own business as a coach. And literally everyone's telling you this, and you can feel it in your soul. You know that you're ready. You want nothing more than to be this, life coach or spiritual coach, whatever it is. But you just won't do it because you're like, no, I'm not ready yet. I need to get an actual coaching certification to prove to myself, which is really what you're doing. You need to prove it to yourself, not to other people, because everybody else knows that you know enough. I've got to prove it to yourself that you're going to be ready. But so that is the message that's coming through, is that you're going to feel stretched, but just do the things and think about it later. The more you think about it at that particular time, the more you freak out, the more you stop. And it is normal if you've been through a big stage of doing all the things, of going up, 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 up. I'm doing all of this. I'm doing all of this. I like to call them, or what Spirit calls, the speed wobbles. So, in my program, Psychic School Elite, and whenever I used to work with people one on one, it would be like 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Because when you're like energetically upgrading and you're doing all these things and you're working on yourself, it's like your vibration is going, it's going up, 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 right? But your physical body needs a chance to catch up as well. And your mind, sometimes it hasn't fully, because you're just intuitively following these nudges. Your own mind also hasn't had a chance to integrate and expand along with where you've been pushing yourself. It's almost like a container. It's like this container that is so full and it's stretched to its capacity, but it hasn't, like, it's like elastic and it hasn't quite like found its shape yet. So you will get to a point, most people do, you might not, you might just be like freaking awesome and just keep on going. But this is me included, where you get like the speed wobble. So, like when you're going off really, really fast and you're on like a bike or like a scooter or a, electric, what do they call it, a motorcycle, and you're going really, really fast, and then all of a sudden it starts wobbling and going all over the place, and it takes you a moment to like find your footing, but then you're off and okay again. It's totally normal to then get the speed wobbles, and you've just gone on this huge trajectory of doing all the things, sometimes for 3 weeks in a row. This is why I have my 1 week off to integrate. It could be longer. You could be on a huge trajectory of like doing all the things, and then all of a sudden you go, oh God, am I actually ready? Am I actually doing this? Am I, like, so I had my first professional, like, big photo shoot this week. And I knew in my mind, like, I need this for my social media. I need this for my website, because I feel like I have energetically upgraded, and this is what is suiting. This is where I'm at right now. And these photos are going to reflect how it is that I'm feeling. But as this is coming up and as I'm finding outfits for it, the imposter syndrome, the who do I think I am, all these thoughts start coming up. And I didn't think about it because I'm really good at that. I'm like, I always teach people in my spiritual work is don't think, just act on what Spirit's telling you, and, freak out about it later. And that's exactly what I did. I went through this like, oh my gosh, like this feeling in my stomach, like I can't do this. Like, what an idiot. I'm going to feel like such an idiot doing these photos. And I actually was just talking about this inside Psychic School Elite, which was um, if sometimes when you're feeling all the feels, you need to put on your alter ego or your next level self. So who you imagine yourself to be, that person, even if you're not there yet, sometimes that person or this alter ego needs to come in and take over. So just like for those of you who are familiar with Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, and Beyonce, if you don't know, have a look up about it. Beyonce says that she is quite um, an introvert, and she is actually quite shy, but obviously she on stage she needs to, she needs to bring it, right? And when she's feeling nervous and feeling shy, she brings out Sasha Fierce, which is her alter ego, who is confident, who is loud, who just goes and gets it. And this is one of those times where I was like, okay, I'm going to have to bring out my Sasha Fierce because my human mind right now is freaking the F out. And that's exactly what I did. I'm just like, stop thinking about it. Next level you, or next level June, is badass boss bitch who's got this with a touch of spiritual, who's in there, who's using her spirituality in part of this next level, which is, I want to call her psychic CEO, whatever it is. I had to put that on because otherwise I was going to stop. I was going to stop. I was going to retract and go, I changed my mind. I literally was going to like roll out of the car on the way there because I did not want to go. Um, it's not it didn't feel comfortable for me. It feels comfortable for some people to be in front of a camera like that. But I'll just tell you this now. I'll give her a bit of a plug. Emma Vanessa Photography. She made me feel so comfortable. She told me exactly what it is I need to do because I don't know. And yeah, she was so great. But yeah, that is an example of the speed wobbles and then feeling like, oh, who am I to think I can do this? That is so normal to be there. And something that I have been saying to my clients is feel the feels. It's okay to feel this way. We're human. There's nothing wrong with you. This is totally normal. For me, how spirit like to sort of explain it to me is like your energetic body has gone on all these upgrades and up leveling, and your human needs time to catch up, and that includes physically. Sometimes people get sick, so physically sick because their physical body also needs to upgrade to be able to hold this higher vibration. So when I used to do my first one-on-one program back in the day, I don't run them like this anymore, but I used to do a 8 week, no, 7 week program, and it was 3 weeks on, 1 week off, then 3 weeks on. And in that 1 week off, I'm going to say 90% of clients were like, I've got a sore throat. I don't know what's happening to me. Or I feel like I've got an upset stomach bug, or I'm so tired. I'm so drained, because that would be the week around about that time frame that I've just noticed this pattern of 3 weeks of up level, because they were learning all the things from me, and, connecting with spirit and meditating and doing all the things. And then the week in between, their physical body needed time to catch up. So it's so normal for you if you feel like, or you go through those stages of like going up, 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 and then you just crash. That's normal. But the information that wanted to come through from spirit today is it's so normal to sit in your feelings and feel all the feels and acknowledge your feelings, because this is like something that I like to say, which is when we have big feelings, they're like a house guest, right? You invite them in, and you enjoy their company, or you don't enjoy their company. Usually it's very uncomfortable feelings, but you entertain them, right? You go through all the things, do whatever it is you need to do, and then you ask them to leave, or they leave. They have to go. They're not invited to stay. Or you work your way through it. And sometimes you might need a mentor or a healer or somebody else to help you work through it. Or sometimes you can do it on your own. Like I love to journal. I like to, go for lots of walks, connect with spirit, meditate, self-care, take care of myself. But the main moral of the story is stay and feel the feels, sit in the feelings, but don't let it stop you. Don't let you pull back and then cancel everything that you just did. I have worked with, or have had friends actually, that have like, wanted to start something, and they've started something, and they've, I want to start this business, and they've created it, and, gone, this is what I know, I need to do this for whatever reason, and done all the things, and then literally taken everything back when they're in their speed wobble moment, and deleted every social media thing that they created, the bio that they created. They began their website, they canceled their subscription, and just went into like hibernation, I can't do it mode. So it's so okay to sit in these feelings, and it's so normal to feel it, but don't allow it to stop your progress and pull you backward. Sometimes you need to stop for a bit, take a step back, realign. That's different, because you might go, oops, I've just gone in the wrong direction for a moment. I need to realign and then go in, slightly alter what it is that I'm doing. So for an example of that is like when I've sometimes created an offering, and you don't know until you try it. You try and listen to spirit as best as you can, but we're human. Sometimes we cloud it with our own, like looking at what someone else is doing. And I've done this in the past. Okay, what are they doing? Let me try and do that. And then created this offering and then started doing it and gone, I don't like this offering. This doesn't feel right for me. This doesn't feel right in my body. And I didn't know that until I started it. So I've retracted, I've got rid of that offering and then felt into it again and then gone again. But I needed to do it the wrong way first for me to understand, and take it back and then go again, that this is the right way, that I should be doing it in a way that is aligned with me and not with what somebody else is doing. So that's different if you need to go take a step back to like realign. And I often sometimes go on an upwards trajectory and then realize that I haven't stopped to sit down with spirit again and go, what's my next step? Sometimes I just keep going. And this was actually me this week, where I was going. I feel like, oh, I'm doing all the things, this is so awesome. But wait, hang on, am I actually going in the right direction, or am I going to need to stop and step back and then realign again? So to stop me from doing that so often, now that I have this connection with spirit, I literally am getting the downloads from spirit. You're not going to do work today. This was this week's. This was yesterday, actually. You're not going to do work this week. Obviously I've got clients that I have a commitment to. That's different. But in terms of like admin, you're not going to do any of that. You're not going to do any posting. Stop. You're going to take that time. You're going to sit down with us, and we're going to tell you what your next steps in your business are going to be. And I wrote pages and pages and realized that's not in the like it somewhat was in the direction I was going, but it wasn't in any type of proper order. I was doing the order all over the place, which didn't make any sense. So spirit have pulled me back, and I literally looking at it now on my wall. It's like offerings 1, 2, 3. But first you need to refine this, and this from these particular offerings. And I've already ticked off things that I've done. And yeah, they literally said, okay, rip this page off and stick it on your thingo. So you're not going to go back to your old patterns, and you've come back and you've gone within. So I went within, and I now know which are the right ways to move forward. So sometimes in terms of your moving forward, don't forget to ask and check in with spirit, or check in with yourself, that am I going in the right way? So I've been going for 3 weeks straight now, just checking, am I going in the right direction? And we forget that we have access to this infinite source of like information, but we actually need to ask them. So ask them for their help. So that was the other thing. But that is pretty much all I wanted to say today, was that if you are sitting in that imposter syndrome moment, or in that moment of, low self-confidence, or feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going, why am I doing this, I can't do this, and this is after, maybe you've made a lot of changes or whatever, just know that your physical body is just catching up to where your energetic body or energetic self is, and just give it the time that it needs to catch up. Sometimes you might need to go and see somebody, sometimes you can work through it on your own, but just be gentle with yourself, and know that you will come out the other side. And don't stop or wait, do stop, but don't retract or like withdraw any progress that you've made because these feels have popped in. Because most of the people that I have done that I've dealt with, they come back and they go, oh, I regret that. I wish I didn't delete my social media account, because now I've got to start again. I did that in an emotional moment. That I was feeling like this isn't right for me. I can't do it, even though in my soul. So there's a difference between trying something and then realizing that's not right for you, and actually feeling that inner knowing in your soul that this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here to do. I am made for so much more. This is part of my purpose. There is the difference there. And It can be tricky sometimes to differentiate, but maybe don't make the decisions based on when you're in those states of mind. Just come back to it at a later state. Anyway, have an amazing rest of the week. I hope you have enjoyed this download from Spirit, and I will chat to you all soon.